Unveiling the sacred threads. Connecting deeply in every encounter. In our lives, we often find ourselves surrounded by others, each carrying their own worlds within them. But how do we truly connect with them, the people we meet, talk to, and share our lives with? It's not merely about exchanging words or being present in the same space. It is about something far deeper, something that transcends ordinary interaction. To connect deeply with others, we must first understand the essence of connection itself. Connection is not just a bridge built from one person to another. It is a mirror in which we see ourselves reflected in another's soul. It requires us to be both vulnerable and receptive, to give and to receive. Let us start with the cornerstone of all connections: listening. True listening goes beyond hearing words. It involves understanding the emotions, intentions, and silences between the words. When you listen deeply, you allow the other person's reality to touch yours. This can be transformative. Consider how often you listen just to respond, and how different it would be if you listened to understand. What might you discover in the silence between words? Now let us explore empathy, which is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Empathy doesn't demand that we have experienced exactly what the other person has, but that we connect to the emotions they are experiencing. Can you remember a time when you felt truly understood by someone? Likely, it was because they empathized with your feelings. To cultivate empathy, practice tuning into your own emotions in various situations. This self-awareness will help you recognize these emotions in others. Another vital aspect of connecting deeply is authenticity. Being genuine with someone is like opening the doors of your soul and letting them see your true self, unmasked and unguarded. This can be frightening because it involves a great deal of trust. However, the depth of connection you can achieve through authenticity is unparalleled. Reflect on moments when you were most authentic with others and the quality of connection that followed. Was it not richer and more fulfilling? Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. But how do we build this authenticity? It begins with self-acceptance. Accepting yourself for who you are, embracing your flaws and your strengths, allows you to be real with others. Self-acceptance does not happen overnight. It is a journey. Every day, strive to accept something more about yourself. In doing so, you will find it easier to be authentic with others, paving the way for deeper connections. Then there's the power of presence. Being present isn't just about physically being in a location. It's about being fully engaged with the person in front of you, not distracted by past regrets or future anxieties. Presence allows us to interact with compassion and understanding, responding to the needs of the moment. How often do you find your mind wandering in conversations? Practice mindfulness to hone your ability to stay present. Lastly, the art of asking meaningful questions is a profound way to deepen connections. Questions can be windows into a person's soul, and the way you frame these questions can either open up a meaningful dialogue or close it down. Instead of asking superficial questions, try asking ones that invite a deeper exploration of thoughts and feelings. What drives your passion? What have you learned from your biggest challenge? We are now at the end of our first exploration into connecting deeply. Reflect on these points and notice how they can transform your interactions. I invite you to join me as we continue to explore more facets of this profound topic. The luminous heart, cultivating compassion and understanding. As we proceed further into understanding how to connect deeply with others, let's focus on the role of compassion and understanding. These are not just feelings, but active states of being that can dramatically transform our interactions and relationships. Compassion is often seen as a kind of sympathy towards others' suffering, but it is much more. It is an empathetic understanding of the situation combined with a genuine desire to help alleviate the pain. To develop compassion, you must first recognize that everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. With this recognition, ask yourself, how can you serve them? Service doesn't necessarily mean grand gestures. Sometimes it's your presence, your listening, or simply your understanding that provides the greatest comfort. Understanding, on the other hand, is closely linked to empathy, but involves an intellectual and emotional grasp of the other person's perspective. It is about seeing the world through their eyes and feeling it through their heart. Understanding requires patience and openness to accept viewpoints that might be vastly different from your own. How can you expand your perspectives today to include someone else's reality? These two qualities are essential for deep connections because they break down the barriers of ego and judgment that often isolate us. Consider this. When was the last time you felt a genuine connection with someone who judged you? Likely, judgment created distance. In contrast, compassion and understanding bridge that distance and bring us closer. Let's also explore the power of shared experiences and stories. Sharing personal experiences and stories is a powerful way to connect. It's not just about the narrative itself, but about the emotions and lessons embedded within them. When you share a story, you offer a piece of yourself. Similarly, when you invite others to share their stories, you honor their experiences and validate their feelings. This mutual exchange fosters a deep bond of trust and understanding. What story could you share that might help someone feel less alone in their struggles? Moreover, vulnerability plays a crucial role in deep connections. It involves opening up about our fears, hopes, and failures. Vulnerability can be daunting because it exposes us to the risk of rejection or judgment. However, it is also the cradle of intimacy. By showing your vulnerabilities, you signal to others that it is safe for them to reveal theirs. This mutual vulnerability can create a profound and secure connection. What is one vulnerability you could share that might deepen a relationship in your life? Finally, let's consider the role of forgiveness in connections. Forgiveness is not about condoning wrong behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of bitterness. Holding on to grievances can poison our relationships. By choosing to forgive, you open a pathway to reconciliation and deeper understanding. Remember, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself as much as to the other person. What might you need to forgive? And who might you need to forgive to move forward more freely in your relationships? We have now explored several key elements that deepen our connections with others, from compassion to shared stories and vulnerability. Each of these elements invites us to step beyond our comfort zones and into a more heartfelt interaction. The dance of dialogue, mastering communication for deeper connections. In this next part of our exploration, we delve into the intricate dance of dialogue. Communication, after all, is the vessel that conveys our thoughts, feelings, and intentions. Mastering it can significantly deepen the connections we form with others. Let's examine how we can enhance this skill to not only convey our own ideas, but to also truly understand those of others. Firstly, consider the importance of clarity and honesty in our communications. Clarity involves expressing your thoughts and feelings in a straightforward and understandable manner, avoiding ambiguities that might lead to misunderstandings. Honesty, however, is about being true to your own experiences and feelings, not masking or altering them to please others or to fit in. Imagine the liberation and the deep connections that could be formed if we all communicated with such transparency. How might your relationships change if you practiced clearer, more honest communication? Now let's address the tone of our communications. The way we say something can often carry more weight than what we actually say. A kind, gentle tone can soothe and invite openness, while a harsh or judgmental tone can shut down dialogue. Reflect on your tone in past conversations. Could a change in tone have altered the outcome? Practicing mindfulness in how we speak allows us to convey respect and care, even when discussing difficult issues. Listening, an aspect we touched upon earlier, deserves a deeper look. Active listening is not just about hearing words, but about engaging fully with the speaker. It involves giving them your full attention, reflecting back what you have heard, and withholding judgment and advice unless they are requested. This form of listening can transform interactions, making the other person feel valued and understood. Do you recall a time when someone listened to you this way? How did it make you feel? Additionally, the art of asking the right questions in conversations can not only clarify understanding but can also deepen the connection. Open-ended questions, in particular, can prompt deeper reflection and more elaborate responses. Instead of asking yes, no questions, try questions that start with what or how. For instance, instead of asking, "Did you like the movie?" you might ask, "What did you appreciate about the movie?" Notice how such questions open a space for deeper sharing. Another vital aspect of effective communication is nonverbal cues. Our body language, eye contact, and even our silences speak volumes. Being aware of and controlling these signals can enhance the connection. For instance, consistent eye contact can convey your interest and presence, while an open posture can signal receptiveness. How might your body language be interpreted by others? Are there adjustments you could make to foster a more inviting atmosphere? Finally, the skill of adaptability in communication is essential. Each person and situation is unique, and being able to adjust your communication style to fit the context can lead to more meaningful interactions. This might mean being more reflective with a thoughtful friend or more straightforward with someone who appreciates brevity. How can you adapt your communication style to better connect with different individuals in your life? We have now explored various facets of communication and how they can enhance our connections with others. From clarity and honesty to the nuances of body language, each element plays a crucial role in the dance of dialogue. Mirrors of the self. Cultivating self-awareness for connection. In our journey towards deeper connections, self-awareness emerges as a fundamental pillar. It is through understanding ourselves that we can better relate to others. This part of our exploration delves into how self-awareness and personal growth directly influence our interactions and relationships with those around us. Self-awareness is the conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. The journey towards self-awareness begins with introspection. This involves regularly reflecting on your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. By understanding your internal processes, you can identify what triggers negative emotions as well as what brings you joy and peace. This awareness enables you to manage your reactions and approach situations with a balanced perspective. How might increased self-awareness change your responses in challenging interactions? Furthermore, self-awareness allows us to recognize our own biases and preconceptions. We all see the world through lenses shaped by our experiences and culture, which can unintentionally color our perceptions of others. By acknowledging and challenging these biases, we can open ourselves to truly see and understand those around us, beyond our assumptions. Can you think of a situation where your initial judgment was proven wrong after getting to know someone better? Personal growth is closely tied to self-awareness because it involves an ongoing effort to improve oneself and expand one's understanding of the self and the world. This growth often requires stepping out of our comfort zones and facing uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Such growth not only transforms us but also enhances our relationships. When we grow, we become more empathetic, patient, and kind, qualities that are essential for deep connections. What aspect of your personal growth could have a significant impact on your relationships? The practice of mindfulness is another crucial aspect of developing self-awareness. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment, aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice can help us become more attuned to our reactions and the needs of others during interactions. Through mindfulness, we can learn to respond rather than react, a subtle but profound shift. How might mindfulness help you in a recent interaction where emotions ran high? Self-reflection is also a powerful tool for self-awareness. It involves looking back at our interactions and behaviors to understand our motivations and outcomes. This reflection can be guided through journaling, meditation, or even discussions with a trusted friend or mentor. Reflecting on why you acted a certain way or felt a certain emotion can provide deep insights into your inner workings. What might you discover about yourself if you reflected on a recent conflict or a meaningful conversation?